Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today, I have two guitars with unusual pickup combinations that you don't normally associate with them. Starting off today is a 1978 Gibson RD Artist. This is what this guitar normally looks like. You have two humbuckers, a regular Nashville-style bridge with a tailpiece, typically gold hardware unless things have been modified. The RD Artists actually do have the Moog electronics in them, so slightly fancy stuff going on with these guys, as you can tell by the extensive background and plate. And they've got the cool unbound ebony fretboard, but with the bound headstock going on. And of course, the most iconic thing besides the Moog electronics is the really cool flying F-hole. But how did we go from this to this? Interesting. So somebody has taken a black RD Artist and just completely modified it. So they likely took the Moog electronics out because our pickups have been swapped. But I hate to say it, I dig this look. P90 pickups in an RD, Gibson, make this a real thing. Outside of the Epiphone Lee Malia RDs, it's kind of been a while since we've seen an RD come back, but they always have humbuckers. One of the most recent RDs was actually from 2018, so I guess it hasn't been that long, but they always have some sort of a humbucker in it. So maybe we need to bring the RD back, but reimagine it for a modern player. And I think P90s is a great way to do it. Heck, you could probably get away with doing a third one in the middle and still have plenty of picking room. So how exactly did they pull this off, you're probably wondering. Do P90s fit directly in humbucker routes? No, they do not. So you can actually see the old humbucker screws that were securing the plastic ring around it. So they would have had to have done some additional routing along this edge, and you can still see some of the old routes still visible here. Here you can kind of see what we're talking about by the enlargement. Now, if you were to put a regular pickup ring back on here, it looks like it would cover most of it. You might still see some of it. It's not quite as invasive as routing out like a mini humbucker for a full-sized humbucker, if you were trying to return it back to stock anyways. But as far as other modifications go, it looks like we have a ABR1 of some sort on here. It doesn't quite match the gold hardware because that price started life as chrome, but this thing was definitely played. I mean, you've got a lot of finish wear going along here, exposing the maple body, but it looks like we still have the original knobs. I'm curious if they wired these up to do anything different, since they likely don't have the Moog board in here anymore. They could have wired it as like a complete kill switch, and then the other one's just your three-way toggle switch that you're used to. As far as the rest of this one, it's definitely seen some use over the years. That lacquer has ambered over quite a bit. Even the truss rod cover, take a look at how much that thing is aged. The frets are actually looking pretty good. It might have had a refret at one point in time. Those look slightly taller than the Norland era frets. But our serial number dates this one to 1978, and it's a Kalamazoo made one, still with the original tuners yet. And lots of finish wear on the backside of the neck as well. So cool, if nothing else, maybe it gives somebody inspiration to build an RD-styled instrument with P90 pickups. Maybe we should take it a step further and put a staple Alnico 5 in the neck. Reading the description, it doesn't appear that this guy knows a lot about the RDs. They don't have mahogany bodies. It almost seems like they might have just copied and pasted the spec sheet for like a modern one, because that's definitely a maple neck and a maple body on that. Ooh, and we don't even have a case. That's unfortunate, because finding an RD case is rather difficult. But they're asking $2,650 for this, and it is confirmed that the Moog electronics are no longer in it. Keep in mind, it's currently in Russia, so prices will be a little bit higher over there. As far as the American market, I would value this one around $2,000, plus or minus $200. So with the international premium, despite everything being changed out, they're just a little bit on the high side. But let's face it, most of the people that buy these Artist series instruments, they're not really interested in using the Moog electronics, because there's certain sounds that are good. You can check out my reviews and demos of these things. There's a few really nice tones that these things can produce, but there's a lot of not so good stuff. But the next guitar we need to talk about actually started life as a Gary Clark Jr. signature SG. I've also done reviews on these. The yellow ones actually kind of have an interesting history all on their own, so you can check that out in the video. But this is a triple P90 SG, kind of. They're not actually traditional P90s, they're P90S. If I remember correctly, I wasn't a huge fan of these pickups. But it's kind of a cool signature SG anyways. I mean, check that out, 24 frets. I'm surprised we haven't seen his signature flying V yet. That must still be in prototype stages. I bet we'll see that maybe next year. Perhaps they just wanted to give some more time in between it, because I'm really excited for the flying V to have triple P90s, but hopefully they go with more traditional P90s, but that's just me. But anyways, get a good look at this one. Regular style headstock, triple P90 style pickups. Now check this one out. How cool is that? So they've swapped out the P90S pickups for mini humbuckers. Now finding a triple mini humbucker guitar is actually really difficult within the Gibson family of brands. I believe it was around 2018, 2019 you can find special order custom deluxes that have triple mini humbuckers, but as far as like a stock production model, you just don't see this. So when this red Gary Clark Jr. showed up, it's like, yeah, I dig the look. I think I even hypothesized about this in my review and demos. So seeing this come to fruition, it kind of made me smile. But at the same time, it's not just the pickups on this guitar. Check out what else they added. The Gibson Vibrola plate, but without actually installing the Vibrola. So they added some screws into the body to put that on there, but that's given it the faux Derek Trucks vibe. So now they've not only like mixed AC/DC red SGs with Gary Clark Jr.'s triple pickup setup, but they're throwing some Derek Trucks vibes on here just for good measure too. So, you know, if you're a fan of all of these different artists and you want a 24 fretted SG with 3 pickups, hey, this thing is actually pretty cool. But as far as the back, it looks like they've left that alone. So how much do they want for this? $2,190.75 shipping. Now, in my opinion, that's a little bit high. You'll have to find somebody who actually wants this on it, because that is an irreversible modification. However, that does have some value to it on its own, so it kind of evens itself out there in a roundabout way. Not having the P90S pickups, some people might not like that, but honestly, yeah, it's kind of an even wash. But looking at the price guide, it looks like these are generally selling anywhere between $14 to $2,000-ish. You gotta remember, the yellow ones sell for much more, and this price guide history is not telling you what color is which. Typically, these red ones sell for considerably less. Usually the market falls between like 14 to 18, but you know, the market is really high right now, so maybe they can fetch up to 2,000. So this is one of those ones maybe you try to talk them down $400 on. And to end tonight's episode off, hey, Adam Jones posted something that everybody is sending me. As of today, it is pretty much 100% official. There will be an Adam Jones Epiphone signature. Now, whether or not it's going to be a complete replica of the Gibson version, we don't know, because at this time, we just have a case, and he says more prototypes. What's kind of strange is down here, that's like a 70s, 80s Gibson case. They're not reissuing those, are they? I think he's just talking about this, but we'll have to find out. That's kind of cool that they did that case, but it seems they learned their lesson to not color the outsides of them. So we'll have to see how that thing pans out. I doubt we will see that until next year, though. Maybe even a year after that. Because it's pretty much official that we'll be getting a signature Silverburst Flying V from him in the future. So maybe those ones will come out around the same time whenever they're ready. It just seems like they're completely in prototype stages right now on that one. And seeing as how the original Gibson run, they're still bringing quite a lot of money. I think the Epiphones might help bring that down a little bit. However, I think ultimately this Epiphone release is going to be super popular. I don't know if they're going to do a limited edition. I'm sure it'll just be like a, hey, we're going to make this and make as many as we can as a way to say, yeah, we're sorry about the situation with the Gibson ones. But again, nothing official. I don't know anything more than you guys do, but I can guarantee they're gonna sell a boatload of those. Alright, Troglodytes, thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.